Hello. I had to jump back on because there was something that I had remembered to say about this book. In the last video, I talked about this book that I'm listening to called Ask and It Is Given by Esther Hicks. However, sometimes it's credited as Esther Hicks and Jerry Hicks, the husband and wife team. Sometimes it's credited as Abraham Hicks, who, as I mentioned in the last video, is the Justice League of Spirits or something that speaks through Esther Hicks. And the book is mostly in the voice of Abraham, who sometimes is referred to as Abraham Hicks. I don't know. It's kind of wacky. So, no, I was just remembering this part of the book towards the beginning. So it's been a while since I heard it. I don't remember all the details, but I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't mention this, especially as a feminist. But there's an odd part of the beginning of the book that they're sort of introducing this whole concept. I think it may be like the introduction written by the husband, Jerry Hicks or something, but like it has this weird part where it says something like, um, Abraham like speaks through Esther or chose Esther to speak through because she doesn't really like have any thoughts of her own, which sounds so, it sounds so fucked up. I don't know if they quite put it in those words that like Esther has no thoughts, so Abraham has to talk for her. Because when you see videos of Esther, she seems to have plenty of, chutzpah. There's a lot of personality there and stuff. Although I can't necessarily, I'm not really well versed in them and their whole situation. So I'm not, maybe that's Abraham talking through her. I don't know. But yeah, it sounds funny because he says he sort of goes to the trouble of mentioning, well, like Esther doesn't really like have any strong thoughts or feelings about anything and doesn't have any opinions. And I don't know if it was my own conclusion or what he was implying was that like Abraham chose her out of the two of them because like she's got nothing going on. I don't know, but it just sounded kind of odd. I have to say that the implication is that she's this, sort of empty vessel, and I don't know. That was a little red flaggish to me, but yeah. Anyway, so my full analysis of, and I haven't even finished the book, so I can't call it a review or really an analysis, but my thoughts on the book are mostly in the previous video. But I just had to mention that part because that was pretty wacky. I mean, the whole thing is pretty wacky, really, when you look at it. But like I said, I do like the book, and it's probably the most compelling. I wouldn't call it a case because it's not, full of, hard evidence or anything, but it's the most compelling description of the law of attraction that I have heard thus far that doesn't quite sound like it. I mean, to a skeptic, it does sound like hocus pocus. I'm not going to lie, but it just sounds, I don't know, it sounds more concrete in this book than probably I've ever heard it before. And have you ever noticed that I feel like and I don't seek them out, but I feel like I watch a lot of people, mostly women, like on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, who are all into, speaking over their universe. I don't know, all those fancy words, and they've all got crystals and stuff, and they're all expressing themselves. But I always get this feeling like they don't believe what they're saying. They always seem so unhappy, to be honest. Man, there's this one woman I watch in particular, and I love her, and she writes a lot, and she's always encouraging people to write, and she's always talking about, your words and the importance of your words and things like that. And she's always like correcting herself. You ever notice that with the people who are very conscious about the words they're using and stuff? And I think that is a law of attraction thing that a lot of people have, where they're so paranoid about like every friggin' thing they say that like if they misspeak and say, gee, I wish I had a ham sandwich, and they meant to say bologna, that like, oh my God, the universe will curse them with a ham sandwich, or I don't know, like, and they seem to be walking this tightrope of like, oh my God, I have to be so careful about every word I say. It's almost like some dystopian like future or sometimes now where you have to be so careful about every word. And if you say the wrong word, you'll be like ruined and stuff. You'll be called out and executed. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of these people, they're so like strict about it. And I think they're so afraid of having like that one wrong thought or saying that one wrong thing. And so, like that woman on Instagram, she's always like correcting herself. She'll be like, I wish, I didn't have to go to work. And oh, I mean, I'm very blessed to have work and it's like, oh my God, like calm down. And one of the things I like about this book is that it's not necessarily telling you can't have like a wrong thought and if you do, you're going to manifest it in 5 minutes. It's at least the impression I get from the book is that yeah, you have thoughts that or about things that you don't want in your life, that's fine. Just don't focus on them. We all have thoughts. Don't like panic if you have a thought or say something you didn't quite mean to say or didn't want to say or don't want to see manifest. Like that's fine. Don't say it again. And say things you want to say. Say things you want to happen. Think about things you want to happen. Like it's about what you focus on. That's the important part. It's not what, like, happens to exist and falls out of your mouth once in a while. That's not what, it's about. That's not what the universe isn't, watching every word, with a gun to your head. You say things, you think things, whatevs. It's what you focus on. That's the important part. So, move on. Whatevs. So you don't have to police yourself so strictly. I think that's why all these, witchy ladies I'm watching are so unhappy because they're like, if I say one wrong word, it's to the, to the gallows with me. It's not like that. And so that's another thing that's nice about the book is that it's not so strict that I think, unlike a lot of other law of attraction things I've seen and read or heard. So anyway, yeah, kind of a one might say a problematic view of a woman. we're just we're just vessels. I don't know. Not that it said that every woman is a vacuous vessel, but there was certainly this. It was hinted at that might have been the reason, I guess, that Esther was picked by Abraham. Oh, and it contrasts Esther with Jerry because apparently Jerry has like thoughts and feelings and opinions and stuff, but Esther, I don't know. She's just sitting there, I guess. But like I said in the videos, she does not look like an empty vessel at all. That sounds like a fat joke. I didn't mean for it to sound like that. She doesn't look like, vacuous or anything. She doesn't act vacuous. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she used to be. I don't know. But I had to mention that. So anyway, carry on. Have a good day. Bye-bye.